Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to waste any time. Quite frankly, I'm pretty shocked by what Dominic Williams, who of course is the founder of Dfinity and the ICP protocol, the Internet Computer Protocol, released the other day in regards to their Caffeine AI demonstration. That is what we're going to be talking about today, because one thing that we've always highlighted ICP for is being really a broader application and demonstrating the useful nature of distributed ledger technology, certainly smart contracts, in regards to things outside of the realms of finance. And I think ICP is perhaps suffering from a lack of understanding. I think the world very much understands that distributed ledger technology is the future of finance, and everything, value period, is going to be on chain. However, people haven't quite worked out that there is far broader ramifications and usage and utility for this technology. And ICP is absolutely pioneering that by enabling the next internet, a more secure, more scalable, more democratized, more decentralized internet, and things that come off the internet like AI systems, so on and so forth. So we've got a lot to get into. It's going to be quite a technical video, but I'm here to help. Let's kick things off with what Dominic Williams essentially announced was coming, and then we'll get into the demonstration or the reveal of Caffeine AI. But he says here, Dfinity will share a high-res video of the Caffeine self-writing internet demo tomorrow. The response from people has been truly incredible. So many have said they can hardly believe their eyes. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. If any of you can get me in touch with Dominic Williams or anybody from the ICP protocol to discuss this, we would love for that to take place. What I want to do is dive over to the video, first of all, of him announcing this, then him talking about why this is a big deal, and then him actually demonstrating how on ICP with Caffeine AI, anybody can now become a developer through simply talking to Caffeine AI, and ultimately that's all facilitated on ICP, which from start to finish is on chain. Most deep-in services out there, most blockchains period, leverage Web 2 infrastructure, and they give the power back to the technocrats, the techno overlords, that ultimately this technology can somewhat move us away from. And there's a great irony there of people talking about on-chain and the future is on-chain, and then actually leveraging Web 2 services. ICP really breaks the mold there. So let's dive into this clip of Dominic Williams.
Today is, really, really exciting for me because I get to share Caffeine. I've been wanting to share it for a long time. I'm going to give you a look at the Caffeine Alpha, but soon it's going to transition to beta and be released into the wild. So, without further ado, I guess we should get the... get it on. All right. So, Caffeine was partly inspired by this great quote from Steve Jobs. And the quote goes, "What's important is that you have faith in people, that they're basically good and smart, and if you give them tools, they'll do wonderful things with them." So this kind of led to the question, what if everyone could create online apps and services just by talking? And these would be sophisticated apps that are sovereign and updatable, that can run on a self-writing internet. So here's the answer. Today, there are about 35,000 Web3 engineers in the world. In the grand scheme of things, that's not very many. Worldwide, there are about 15 million full-stack engineers. But tomorrow, with the self-writing internet, everyone will be a builder. Today, there are already about 5 billion people with internet-connected smartphones, and they'll all be able to use Caffeine.
We've got quite a few clips from that video to play for you, but that alone is monumental. Because what ICP is potentially going to do, if successful, is turn anybody into a super developer, not just in the Web 2 world, but also the Web 3 world, inherently through utilizing this technology. And there stands to be about 5 billion people that could benefit from that. And let's look at how this can be used and utilized. And what you'll find is that you'll be thinking to yourself, that is very useful. And the key to getting a technology adopted is making it useful, making it entertaining, making it usable and used. And ICP is positioning itself wonderfully, not to mention all the inherent values that come from building on a distributed ledger like ICP, which from start to finish is decentralized, on-chain, and truly Web3. This is groundbreaking. You can tell I'm excited about this. We're going to show you some examples of him actually going ahead and demoing this in action. And you'll just, your brain will just think about multiple ideas that perhaps you could use and utilize yourself. And this is all on ICP, guys. This is huge. Let's dive into him talking about what this could be used for.
Let's think a little bit about how people might use something like Caffeine. Well, for personal apps, there are infinite things you can do. There are the obvious things like personal branding, wedding portal, plant tracker for your garden. But how about something like hyperlocal social media or a hyperlocal social network with your own rules, where for your family, where you might have a shared photo album where you can add emojis to each other's photographs? Or how about hyperlocal esports, where you can compete for Bitcoin with your friends? What's really, really cool, I think, is that the self-writing internet is going to create completely new online paradigms. Well, what about business benefits? Well, the enterprise is going to benefit in amazing ways. For a lot of enterprise IT infrastructure, costs will come down to 1% of what they were before, and the time to market will come down to something like 1% of what it is today as well. And of course, they'll also benefit from running their apps and systems on infrastructure that provides sovereignty, resilience, and security in a way that only decentralized systems can. So what kind of things might they do with this? Well, there are the obvious applications like ERP, CRM, customer relationship management. For corporates, you can imagine an NGO doing something like, creating apps for refugee assistance, some kind of school district, governmental, or using it for fundraising, or just creating things like intranet portals. Within the small business and startup space, again, it's infinite, but you can imagine a tennis booking app, an e-commerce website, an entrepreneur creating a Web3 sharing economy service, rental property management systems, and so on. So how does this work? Well, these apps run on a sovereign network. That's created by hardware run by independent parties all over the world. That's combined by a mathematically secure network protocol called Internet Computer Protocol, which creates a revolutionary cloud computing environment, which we refer to as the Internet Computer. And the Internet Computer, of course, is created by a sovereign network, but it provides not only a cloud network, but in its new Internet Computer 2.0 form, a specialized kind of cloud where AI can build. So how does Caffeine work? Well, first of all, you talk to Caffeine. Caffeine then writes the code that runs your app and then uses that to deploy the next version of your app. And you can just refresh your web browser URL to see the changes you've made. So when AI codes and builds solo, you have something new. You have self-writing apps. And this is the revolution we're talking about today. And in the future, the internet will really write itself. And I think that's something you're going to get a peek at right now with the demo.
People have got no idea how big this is. ICP is potentially the evolution of the internet. I say potentially because it seems very promising. We don't know how things are going to go. But they're positioned to be exactly that. This unlocks the internet more broadly for everybody. Gone are the days where you need to know how to code, how to do this, how to do that. You can just, I mean, what we're getting with technology is in some ways a utopia forming. And ICP is literally pioneering a lot of this. We've always highlighted ICP for being very useful in regards to the use of a distributed ledger outside the realms of finance, although it can be used for that also, and probably, as it relates to the internet, even more so. But I can't understate how big this is. And you're all probably dying. We'll leave a link to the full video in the description. It's well worth a watch. Spend 30 minutes of your life watching what could be the technology that underpins tomorrow's internet and may empower you as an individual. All of these, we talk about investing in crypto, using and utilizing crypto. You unlock that entrepreneurial mind of yours that we all have in us that's often suppressed because they make us sit in classrooms from this to that time learning nonsense stuff when they should be encouraging creativity, imagination, things like this. Use your imagination and you may become the next Jeff Bezos to utilize this technology as he did the internet years ago. I love my job because we get to bring information like this to you guys on a daily basis. Let's look at three demonstrations that Dominic Williams gives us in regards to what this technology can do, and then I'm going to love and leave you.
So this is conversational, so we should start off by maybe asking Caffeine a question. Let's say, where will my app run? There you go. It says your app will run exclusively on the internet computer, a decentralized network that hosts and executes your application securely and reliably in the cloud. A decentralized cloud, I might have said, but there we go. Are my apps secure? Yes, your apps are secure. Apps on the internet computer are tamper-proof and immune to traditional cyber attacks, thanks to a mathematically secure protocol and decentralized infrastructure. Okay, that's pretty cool. What is the internet computer? The internet computer is a revolutionary decentralized network that provides serverless cloud functionality, hosting tamper-proof and unstoppable apps and AI. That's cool. All right. Okay, so let's start off to get oriented with a really, really simple app. Just a single page with a smiley on it. So I'm going to tell it, create a smiley web page. All right. So it's going to write a spec, but it may just jump past because it is writing a spec. It's so simple. And then after that, it's going to write the code. And you can see in the mobile view, it's kind of rotating through this wheel. So we started in chat, then it went to spec. Now it's gone to code. And then the next step will be draft. So it's finished writing the app's code. We can see that from the chat. And it's now deploying it to the network. Boom. Yeah. Let's create a personal blog using the styling of Medium. Is that legal? Okay. I said it anyway. A blog post has a title, a rich text body, and tags. I'm going to add in a publish date. We're going to start simple. Now, one of the really cool things with Caffeine is you go step by step. So I'll show you the code of this blog. So one of the things the internet computer does is it collapses the difference between logic and data. There's no database, there are no files or anything like that. The logic kind of lives in the data. And this is one of the things that enables AI to build far more complicated functionality than it could otherwise do. And when we upgrade apps, the AI actually migrates this logic, if that makes sense. And it does so within a framework that means that even if it makes a mistake, none of the data gets lost. And this is very important because AI makes mistakes, and it'll continue to make mistakes, even though it's going to become smarter and smarter and smarter. In this paradigm, in production, you're going to see Caffeine eventually write really complicated apps in just seconds and make updates to apps in seconds. So it's a completely different kind of paradigm to traditional IT, where you have a team of people that work together to make updates to the code, and then comes the big release date, and they have to synchronize everything and get ready to roll back and so on. With this new paradigm, it's conversational. You literally just talk to the AI, and that's how you end up making updates to your app. And therefore, you have to make sure there's just no possibility of data getting lost. There can be no way that the AI makes a mistake and some of your data disappears. And that's important because what you'll see in production, there's a system of drafts and pushing drafts into live and so on. But a normal user may not notice that some of their data got lost. The data loss might be quite subtle. And Internet Computer 2.0, which provides a cloud environment for AI, provides a solution to this. It provides a kind of playground for AI where it can really develop applications very rapidly in response to user requests without risk of losing data. Okay, so here we go. Create a tennis lesson booking app for a tennis coach. Okay, see that? It says. Oop, it's gone straight away. Didn't give it many features. Maybe we'll have to add more. Okay, we'll leave it building. Let's look at our blog while that's going. So you probably noticed that it's writing a lot of code for us. But so by using Caffeine, you become like a superhuman technical team in the sense that you can create these things very, very rapidly. But even more than that, you can work on multiple apps in parallel. So we predict that as people get very proficient with Caffeine, they could be working on even 10 apps in parallel. And it gives you a measure of the sheer productivity this thing can unleash. OK, what's happening with our tennis? OK, let's go and look at our tennis. OK, so that's still going. So let's go back here and ask it how many lines of code. How many lines of code, did you write? Ooh, 700, not bad. Not bad going for a couple of minutes. All right, so please add a thumbs up button to each post. See how that goes. All right, back to the tennis booking app. Here we go. Ooh, so this is interesting.
So there we have it. 3 demonstrations given to us by Dominic Williams himself. He kind of talks in and around about why this is so significant. This has been a longer video, but well worth it. I don't even want to say anything else. I just want to leave you with that. Time to start paying attention to ICP, ladies and gentlemen, the Internet Protocol. I'm going to love and leave you. Get ready for some interviews with ICP, people related to it, building on it. Do become a subscriber. If you want to find out what I own, do become a patron. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.